I'm Red Island Photographer. And this is 10 of my most anticipated games of 2022. The gaming market has been on a steady rise since the late 90s, with both casual and hardcore gamers increasing. Even though the Xbox One and PS4 were not as welcomed as their predecessors, video games continue to hold large popularity around the world. With that being said, let's take a look at some of the most anticipated games for 2022. 1. Fable IV, to be announced, 2022 on Xbox Series X and PC. The Fable IV release date has been shrouded in secrecy since the game's reveal at the Xbox Games Showcase in July 2020. Despite this uncertainty, fans of the series remain hopeful for a fairy tale-esque adventure. Fable has become a staple in gaming, leading the way for story-driven RPGs since its debut in 2004. The Fable IV release date has yet to be confirmed, and given the Fable Twitter account's lack of activity since the game was announced at the Xbox Showcase, it's reasonable to assume that it won't be released for a long time. 2. Starfield, November 11, 2022, on Xbox Series X and PC. Bethesda is back with a fantastic sci-fi open world. After the Bethesda acquisition, Starfield was one of the first titles to launch exclusively on Xbox consoles and PC. On November 11, 2022, Starfield will premiere and will be the company's first original RPG in 25 years. It's going to be like Skyrim in space, promised creative director Todd Howard. Expect a massive open world, plenty of player-created structures, and tons of lore. You can choose to join one of the game's 6 factions, which will apparently include branching storylines and rivalries. It is also being built on a new engine that is 4 to 6 times more powerful than previous Bethesda games. 3. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 on PS5. The sequel to the 2017 action-adventure game Marvel's Spider-Man, also created by Insomniac Games and released by Sony Interactive Entertainment, is an action-adventure video game. This game was highly anticipated by fans and critics alike, with the first installment receiving widespread acclaim for its spectacular set pieces, distinctive characters, music, visuals, characterization, web-slinging navigation methods, and fighting. Following the release of Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, development on the sequel began almost immediately. Rumors have been flying around for months now, with many gamers considering it to be one of the most anticipated games of 2022. 4. Marvel's Wolverine, to be announced, 2022 on PS5. This is a long shot, I know, but with the recent success of Marvel's Spider-Man, it seems like a safe bet. Now, from what I've been told, this game will be based off the 2013 Wolverine film, and while that may turn some fans away, I think it'll definitely attract potential customers. Besides, it's a Wolverine game. Who wouldn't want to play as the adamantium-clawed mutant? 5. Gran Turismo 7, March 4, 2022, coming on PS5 and PS4. Gran Turismo 7 is a forthcoming racing video game created by Polyphony Digital and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game will be the 8th in the Gran Turismo series. It will feature a total of 1,086 machines from over 60 manufacturers. Gran Turismo 7 is to include a more immersive campaign mode, with players being able to choose from any car they have unlocked and explore the world around them. 6. Horizon Forbidden West, February 18, 2022 on PS5 and PS4. Horizon Forbidden West is an action role-playing game from Guerrilla Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment, and the long-awaited second game in the Horizon Zero Dawn series, which is set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by machines. It will be the first game in the series to include multiplayer, as well as beast riding. The game is set 50 years after the events of Horizon Zero Dawn, and follows Aloy's daughter Lily on a new adventure across what remains of the American West Coast. 7. Dying Light 2, Stay Human, February 4, 2022 on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and Series S as well as Xbox One. Dying Light 2 is a forthcoming survival horror action role-playing game developed and published by Techland. Despite having some minor flaws, the original Dying Light was a welcome breath of fresh air for the zombie apocalypse genre, and it left us begging for more. The upcoming sequel is said to be bringing back parkour mechanics which were missing in the original. Personally, I can't wait. 8. The Elder Scrolls 6, to be announced in 2022, coming on PC and Xbox Series X. The sixth part of the extremely popular role-playing game series supposedly will be released at some point in 2022, but the developers are being super secretive about it, so release dates still remain unknown. Bethesda has mentioned they do not want to reveal the release of ES6 anytime soon, but they have stated that it will not be released until after Starfield. 9. The day before launches June 21, 2022 for PC, and is adding PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions. The Day Before is an open-world MMO survival game set in a post-pandemic America. You wake up alone in a world that you don't recognize, and will need to hunt for resources and answers as you explore. However, you'll need to compete with other survivors for food and weapons, all while avoiding the flesh-hungry infected that roam the streets. In The Day Before, every decision matters. A wrong choice can get you killed. Every time you play, the world will be different, resources will be scarce or abundant, roads clear or ravaged by hordes of ravenous infected. Prepare for a harsh and unforgiving journey that will test your mind and body to the limit. 10. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 coming on Nintendo Switch. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is undoubtedly one of the most anticipated games of the year. It was initially revealed at E3 2019 as a sequel to Nintendo's 2017 mega-hit, with a brief video showing off the events following Link's final confrontation with Calamity Ganon. However, the promise of an entire new Hyrule hidden behind its curtains was enough to pique our interest. It provided us with a foreboding, even frightening first glimpse at a new Hyrule that was in far greater danger than ever before. So there you have it, 10 of the most anticipated games of 2022, and I have to say I'm personally most excited about The Day Before for PC. I'm a huge fan of post-apocalyptic survival games, being a longtime fan of games like DayZ and Scum. Which games on this list are you most excited about? Which games would you have included on this list? Leave your answers in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. And don't forget to like and subscribe, I appreciate you helping me build my channel.